There we go, Jess. All right, so now we're gonna, some of these numbers we can just get from what we just found out, because month one, that was the 5748 that we found. So to get the new balance, we add that to the carryover balance. And then that is what we figure the minimum payment on. So the 9172 that we came up with was obviously right. We take the 9172 away from the new balance to get the 2,965.76. That we also figured out on the previous page. So now what is our finance charge for the for month two? So use your
Finance charge.
the finance charge for month two.
$59.22.
I did not get that.
Yeah. Oh, I had now, yeah. 29.65.
So 2965.76 times the 0.2299 divided by 12. And when you get an answer, guys, it should seem reasonable compared to what we have so far.
Should be $56.81.
I had it rounded up to 82. Check what you got.
I also didn't round it up to 76 cents, it was 75.
56.82.
5682. And then now, if I add my carryover balance and my finance charge, I should get the new balance. And that number is already there for us as a checkpoint. So we can confirm that we have our other two things right if they add up to 3,022.58.
90.67.
Check, look at your calculator closely. 90.68. So notice what I wrote at the top of the chart, the finance charge, you're doing your carryover balance times your APR as a decimal, divided by 12. And then the new balance is your COB plus your finance charge. And then the minimum payment is your new balance times the 0.03, because the 3%. So then what will our how do we get our carryover balance? How do I know what goes?
3,022 plus minus 90.68.
The three, yes, take your new balance, subtract the minimum payment. Good. So this one, new, subtract minimum payment. So the beginning there, so for month three, 2,931.90 is what I have. You guys agree? So the carryover balance, the balance has come down some. So we should expect our finance charge should be smaller than 56.82, but not a whole lot smaller. How much?
56.82.
Why 18? What do you have on your calculator?
No. $1,702.
So 17.
17.
So then we can add that on. Figure our monthly minimum payment again.
64.
Yes. And then if we do the 2,988.07, subtract our 89.64, we should come up with what is in month 4.
Years. for-
Okay, so go ahead and answer the questions for 4 and 5 based on the work that we've done. Stole that. Whoops. Going back and filling in the table here. So for this thing that he signed up for, that initially was free, I started doing, putting reminder, like setting a reminder in my phone if I sign up for something that I know I want to cancel. So like when we went to the Grand Canyon, my husband drove my car and he really wanted to have Sirius radio in the car. And they were sending me things like a year for like
Right,
$30 or like really cheap. And
I gotta check on that.
and so, but then I put in my phone the date as if it was an appointment,
It goes to 50 or something.
or like maybe even more than that. Yeah, I mean like that. I'm like, nope, when that day comes, this is like the day to cancel. So, and because a lot of things, if you're set up on auto pay, it's very easy to just let it ride and
I had the Sam's Club,
uh-huh.
and there was no purchase on it. But they renewed my subscription,
Mhm.
and they charged it on the credit card. But I wasn't aware. I'm like, I'm not paying any. I'm not.
You haven't been using your
I
credit
haven't
card,
been
so
using it, so I'm not worried about it until I'm like, there is a dent on my credit score, and I'm like,
what is
what's
going?
going on? They were like, yeah, we put it on your credit card. I was like, let me know. What if I didn't want to extend my?
Right, but like when you initially sign up, that's the.
Yep.
And then they have the credit card, so they'll
Yep.
just go ahead and auto bill. Oh, well, you can cancel. Well, now that you've already screwed things up, yeah. Very much. It's easy. And so like this is a similar thing, like this guy, and especially these first few months, if they were just taking $1.40 out of his. He has the minimum set up, so it's not affecting his credit score at this point, because he's paying the minimum because it's set up that way.
What the balance is.
But that balance is accumulating and it's probably all, he's paying the minimum automatically, but this is all happening kind of under the radar a little bit for him, because he probably, you know, maybe he's not even watching his account that close, and then suddenly he's like, why,
$70.
why is it? And then, or he gets a statement, or he finally opens one of them, he's like, how did this happen? Ah, this is how it happened, okay. So what did you come up with as his minimum payment?
150.
415? Is that what you said?
405.
Oh yeah, it would be more than that. 515. All right, awesome.
I'd be worried. I was like, I don't know.
No, I just didn't. Okay, so turn the page over and then you're gonna see, and we're not gonna do an assignment like this one, but how things actually work is usually an average daily balance. If you have a balance on the account, then when you charge things, they charge you differently depending on how, so average daily balance, like, so if on April 5th, this was your balance, and then you made $150 payment, that means for 2 days, your balance was $429.32. Do you see how that's working? And we use that whole, like a weighted average that we did before. And they don't just charge you on on old purchases.
So say that one more time.
So we have been, with the problems that we're doing, we're assuming they're always giving you a grace period on new purchases, even if you have a carryover balance. In reality, if you have a carryover balance, they start charging you interest on your new stuff as soon as you charge it. Okay, so as soon as you charge it, if you have a carryover balance, as soon as you charge it, they're charging you interest. But they don't charge you interest for a whole month because it wasn't charged at the beginning of the month. So how they do that is they do an average daily balance. So these are the transactions, and this is just a few, and obviously this would all be automated. April 5th, the balance was $429.32. April 7th, there's an online payment. So there were 2 days. The 5th to the 7th is a 2-day difference. 2 days for $429.32. Then from April 7th until the 18th. So for 11 days, the balance was $279.32. Then for 2 days, from the 18th to the 20th, the balance was $336.50. And then the 20th to the 21st, only 1 day. 1 day, the balance was $358.50. And then from, let's see, 2021. Okay, now I'm ready for the 21st to May 2nd. So that's 9 days, 10, 11 days. Then there are 11 days that it is $353.50. And I would have to multiply all those, add them together, and then divide by, what do I got? 22 and 5, 27. But so hold on. Then we have, hold on. I think I jacked something up somewhere. This is not the 11. This one is not right. My bad. This one should be $258.50. And then the $353.50 is from May the 2nd until the 4th. There are 2 days at that. So on April the 5th and the 6th, it was $429.32. The 7th through the 17th, it was $279, such and such. And then when we add that all up, we multiply them, add them all together. And then after we've done that, we are going to divide by 22 and how many I got there? 22. Ends on the 4th at midnight, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Actually, this last one should be a 3. 30 days, yes. So then we're going to divide by 30. So I had to go back up here and see when it ends. So the 4th would be included.
So we are multiplying all these and adding them up.
Yes, and then adding them up. So like what we did when we did weighted average before. Plus 11 times 279.32 plus 2 times 650 When there's an average daily balance, then the sooner they get your payment, the better, because you're not, then your balance is lower for that time. And the earlier in the month you charge something, the longer you're paying interest for it.
But it doesn't matter if you pay the whole.
If you pay the whole balance, it doesn't matter. Yes, exactly. But when you don't pay the whole balance. So did you guys also come up with what I did? I came up with 295.56. So 2 days, I guess it might have been easier if I just wrote my number of days next to these amounts over here. 2 days for the 429, 11. 2 days for this one, 1 day for this one, 11 days.
30.
And then divide by 30 after you add it all up, yes. I got 295.
Must have been my problem. Yeah.
Randy, did you actually work it out and get the same thing as I did?
295.5553333.
So it may have been easier if I had just written those things out to the side. That last one is for the second, third, and fourth, as opposed to something new happening on the fourth. That's why it was 3.
That's
Did one of them get left out?
not 3, the last
Oh, that the last one we had to change to 3 instead of 2.
I don't know, cause I got 7,000 after I divided, so I was like, yeah, I put this in wrong.
Right. Yes, guys, like when we look at those numbers, we've got things in the 200s. The highest thing was only 429. So, and it wasn't in the 400s except for a couple days. So if you get something higher than the highest balance or lower than the lowest, then you know something has definitely gone wrong.
So if I bought something 3 days before the statement was printed, then I would only be charged interest for those 2 days.
For the, yeah. Well, you would be, so if you had an ongoing balance, you would actually be charged interest on, if you had an ongoing
Let's say I
balance,
have nothing, 0.
if you had 0 balance, then you get a grace period that as long as you pay it off after you get the next bill.
So let's say I bought something 28, the first is payment,
The first is the end of the statement.
right? And the grace period, they will charge you interest for those grace period as well.
No, not if you're paid off, not if you have a 0 balance. Not if you had no previous balance. Did you pay it off with the month
No,
before?
but-
Was it paid off?
Paid off, let's say it's paid off.
If it's paid off, then when it shows up on your statement, as long as you pay it the next time, you don't pay anything. Yes. Even if you did it at the beginning of the month.
Right, doesn't matter.
Like there've been times it's been almost 2 months.
Right.
I thought making the minimum payment would be like, oh.
But then what happened?
Interest started rolling around. It wasn't a lot, I think.
Right,
it
at
was
first it
almost like
doesn't look like much,
$5 so far.
but then you realize like, ooh, then if I charged a little more and then like how, or if
If I max out my card.
if
then,
anything
it's gonna be a real
happens,
chunk.
yeah,
Sometimes what I'll do, like if the statement is 500, I'll pay like 4 70. And I'll leave them like $30 to nibble on. And give like their dollar. I heard that it helps with your credit.
Yeah,
score.
with your credit score improving, and that's what my banker told me,
That you
never pay
pay.
off 100%, always keep at least a little bit in.
Like
Well-
$20, $15.
Because credit lenders don't want people who
They're
pay
like-
off their balance every month, they want people who pay it off in chunks.
Yeah, because they want the
And now I
interest,
understand why.
right? But then if that next month, if you had $20 on there,
It would go,
then when you went and spent 500 and thought, but I'm gonna pay it all off next month, you're getting charged interest on that $500 because you had a previous balance.
not if you paid the whole balance up.
No, but if you're leaving the $20 on there for them to chew on, then you're gonna be subject to like average daily balance.
So I have $20 left over.
Mhm.
And
If
I
you
bought a
have,
TV for 500.
then you're
That's
gonna
fine.
get, then you're gonna get charged interest on that TV, at least for part of the month.
Even if I.
Even if you pay it off the first time you see it on your bill,
Yeah.
but because you had a prior balance. Because you
I
had
feel
a,
like this is
That's
borderline
crazy.
pyramid scheming.
I mean, you should be only charged for the $20 that is, wow.
that this is probably more what happens. They have, and you'd have to look at your
Yeah.
state, at your information. But typically, the whole grace period is only if you have a zero balance.
So I like my credit card, I had
Couple of months.
I had three things. I had statements balance,
Mm-hmm,
and then I had new charges.
mm-hmm.
If I paid the statements balance in full, are those new charges